Well, that's the cinnamon challenge. It's one of several dangerous fads that we told you about a few weeks ago. Pretty much stupid stunts that your kids are learning about and then posting videos of these stunts online. We got such an overwhelming response from all of you about that segment that we investigated other dangerous teen trends that you alerted us to.
It hurts so bad. My hand is sticking. I can't do this. It's sticking. Ow, ow, ow. And it's your hand.
Okay, as parents, all of us,
Yes.
this horrifies me.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
You know, so, all right, let's talk about the dangers first. And this is where we bring in our favorite registered nurse here at Time Warner, Amy Rankin. The salt and ice challenge that we saw there. Explain the danger here.
Sure. What it is the kids or adults are putting the salt on their skin and then taking the ice and pressing it against their skin, which brings the ice below freezing temperature. And first degree, second degree burns can occur. Very dangerous.
Frostbite can rip your skin right off, right?
Rip your skin off, blistering, you name it.
So, yeah, I know. Well, exactly. And Dr. Sharp, I am going to bring the what in the world, as the judge was saying, straight to you. You know, why do our kids want to do these things that cause them pain?
Well, there's a whole culture, there's a whole lingo around it, but essentially it comes down to, in one word, immaturity. Kids at these ages have immature brains. You know, there's two kinds of thinking. It was once called thinking fast and thinking slow. Thinking slow means being circumspect, using more of your brain, using judgment. Tweens and young teens are in a group mentality. There's not a lot of thinking slow going on. It's really reckless and dangerous.
You know what, Judge? I love these judges when these kids come into the courtroom and some of this stuff gets into, you know, illegal activity.
Yes.
I love the judges like you that say, you know what, son, or you know what, young lady,
Really?
I'm gonna knock some common sense in
Absolutely.
your head once I lay down the law.
Absolutely, because this is so dangerous. And I'm going to tell you, if a child then starts, well, you know better than I do about the medical piece, starts asphyxiating, say on the cinnamon piece, and then you've got all these kids around, I think that there could be an argument about some conspiracy to really engage in this endangered stuff. And kids don't think about what happens. I mean, the whole thing with hazing. This salt, if I am not doing it and my friend puts it on my back, then is she or he going to be charged with, you know, a crime? And so kids have got to think about this. This throwing this milk on the aisles, I've seen this before, infuriates me, Kara, because they're slipping and sliding. What if a person comes along, a pregnant woman, and slips and slides on that milk and loses the baby, or a man comes and falls and is permanently, forever paralyzed? They aren't thinking. I agree with the doctor. They aren't thinking about the
I tell you what,
consequences.
hold that thought, Rainey. I know you've got some legal insight to that. Let's talk about gallon smashing, also drinking hand sanitizer, which I just can't believe our kids can be that stupid. But, you know, these pranks are happening, and they're posting this stuff online. We're going to talk about the fact that this is leading to arrests. Randy's got the legal side of this. So we're looking at more of these potentially dangerous fads and pranks that our kids are actually trying, and they're posting them online. Before the break, we were talking about gallon smashing, salt and ice. Now we're going to talk about drinking hand sanitizer to get drunk. YouTube videos actually show your kid how to distill the alcohol from the sanitizer. Nurse Amy, I'm going to start with you. I mean, these sanitizers have a higher alcohol content than a lot of hard liquors, right?
It sure does. It sure does. Just a couple squirts of this hand sanitizer can be more potent than this vodka.
Who knew?
So what about these people that make these videos? Can they be arrested or held out, you know, liable if something happens to kids who look at that video and do it?
You know, freedom of the press, there's a tension there, and that's the whole thing that we're going through right now with this bombing thing in Boston. You know, is the person who showed you how to do it responsible? I mean, do guns kill people or do people kill people? It's a debate that we have, and if we assign liability to people that are showing people how to do this, maybe we'll stop it. Maybe we need to pass some laws. But right now, it's very hard to convict somebody for showing somebody how to do something, because that person's not doing it. Showing someone how to build a gun. There are good uses for a gun. I don't know how many good uses there are for distilling this out. So
yes,
it's
Dr.
great.
Sharp, go ahead.
Well, in terms of what we can actually do as parents, I think the judge makes a good point. You're used to seeing that people are responsible for the consequences of their actions. Kids need to be taught that, and that needs to be reinforced. And, you know, the kid can roll his or her eyes and make it look like you're the biggest idiot, but you don't have to look for their appreciation. You just have to keep telling them, you know, what is the consequence of your behavior, what this can lead to, and make sure they understand that it's wrong and it's dangerous and it's something that they should not partake in.
Judge, you sent kids to boot camp.
Oh, I have. Kara, I really look at it holistically. When kids come into my court, I want to peel back the layers. What's going on? What's happening at school? What's happening at home? What's happening in the community? And really, I mean, I could not agree more that we have got to be more, and so I love this new show that you're doing. I love it. Because we've got to have these conversations honestly, and to just say we've got to raise awareness. And there have been times when I've held parents responsible and they go, oh, this is juvenile court, you don't have any jurisdiction. I have jurisdiction over anybody who I think is contributing to the delinquency or the deprivation or neglect of a child.
How do you, though, convince a parent that is an absent parent, though, that's got this kid?
It's tough. It is very, very tough. And that's probably another discussion for another day, because I know we've got a lot to do today. But at the end of the day, these parents have to take the responsibility, because otherwise these children end up in courts like mine. And you've got to start not when they're 16, but when they're much younger in talking about this. And I'm so glad you're doing this piece, because this is an important conversation. I'm sitting here going, what about the sanitizer? I had no idea, and I think I'm pretty well versed. So we just got to make parents aware of it and the consequences of their children being involved and having other kids be endangered.
And how do you do that? I mean, as an attorney, when you've got to represent these kids, Randy, at times.
Well, you know, it's interesting because we have adult law and we have juvenile law. We have one of the best juvenile court judges here with us.
Thank you.
And there is a difference. When you're teaching children, you're punishing adults. These kids that are 8, 10, 12 years old, we're not going to send them to jail for doing this. We're going to show them. And Judge Hatchett, you've done a wonderful job of saying, let me explain to you what's going to happen. Let me show you pictures and videos of your friends and other people and what they go through. If the parents aren't going to do it, then we as a society do it. We have a thing called parents patriae. The courts and our system sort of takes over the role, and we instruct kids and we try to teach them. That's what we do in juvenile law. But when adults get involved and adults do this stuff,
Surrogate parent figures.
we punish them and we send them to jail.
Yep. You're absolutely right. And that's why we have a juvenile court system. We have to remember that there is an important distinction, and we've got a huge role to play there.